Because doesn't Tyra have like a whole ice cream shop over there in Australia? How would we get Tyra rapping about ice cream and going crazy with that yellow wig to this? I don't know, but that karma, it will spin the block. Hello everyone, welcome in. Today we're going to talk about Tyra Banks. Tyra is suing Netflix for defamation of character, for mental anguish, for loss of revenue and job opportunities, all stemming from the America's Next Top Model documentary series that aired. Now, Tyra is suing Netflix, but my thing is, Tyra is aware of how TV works. Tyra herself admittedly said, I produced and I edited America's Next Top Model. She is saying that she gave Netflix about 3 hours worth of interview footage and they only put in 16 minutes of it. But my thing with Tyra, again, like, if you signed your name and the license to use your image in that interview for America Next Top Model documentary series, they can do and use it how they want. They can use that documentary footage how they want, and she knows that. Because those girls on America's Next Top Model signed over their name and likeness too. So their footage, that interview, and the clips and stuff that we see of them is edited and used how Tyra and her team wanted to produce it because that's her show. So I'm not sure what we're suing about. Because the same thing you did to the girls, they did it to you. Wasn't it fair? No. But do I think Tyra came in there ready to really do a deep dive interview? Hell no. Tyra came in there ready to be rehearsed, get in, clear her name, go home. That was really what it felt like. I'm not sure if we see the whole 3-hour interview that the opinion about her would change. I think it would be more of the same. It was times in the documentary series when they would straight up say, Tyra, what do you think about what happened here? And Tyra would not answer the question. She would say, yeah, I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to talk about that. That's what a producer does. Like, girl, you were the producer at one. You produced this show. Like, what are we talking about? So it was really crazy, like the contradiction of I produced it and I edited it to no, that's not me. No, I can't talk about that. And the only thing they would do is when Tyra would not answer a question, they would go to Mr. J. They would go to Miss J. They would go to Nigel, and they would give a whole breakdown of what happened, when it happened, how it happened. And it made her look crazy because you would pan it back to Tyra and she's just sitting there smiling with her eyes glazed over. It was like, what is going on here? What are we not connecting on? And I think people now more than ever want people to be real and to be honest. I think the real truth, in my opinion, is that Tyra, Mr. J, Miss J, and Nigel, everybody at the beginning of the show, all of them were dirty to the girls. All of them did and said things they never should have done. I think Tyra was really traumatized for being, in the early years of modeling, being one of the few black models to make it. And I think those experiences she used as fuel for her show. And she put these girls in triggering positions like body shaming, cutting their hair off, bleaching their hair. They were reliving her trauma all over again. And I just don't think it was fair to the girls. I think that if Tyra would have came on and been like, I did mess up. I was power drunk. I had the #1 show in the world. I felt untouchable. Like, just be real and authentic about what it was instead of like, I take accountability. I apologize. But one day, you guys out there are going to also have to take accountability for yourself. It's like, Tyra, hold on, boo. This is not Motivational Mondays. You're not giving us a prep talk. It's not the viewer's fault about what happened on the show. It comes down to what you and your team did on America's Next Top Model. You had girls on that documentary crying, breaking down in tears, and Tyra was sitting there with literally nothing to say. And that is not at all ideal for anybody. If I was Tyra, if I could give her advice, I would tell her never to touch America's Next Top Model again. It's too many stories out there. It's gotten ahead of Tyra. Tyra cannot get ahead of this. Everybody has said how they felt. We know it wasn't everything that we saw was not exactly how it was in real life. And some of the girls are really scarred from the show, and some are not. Tyra cannot fix it all. Let it go. And I think she did herself a disservice. I honestly do. I don't know if this lawsuit is more about her winning it than it is about Tyra trying to win the public favor back. Like, I did do the interview. I was honest. I gave him 3 hours. Even so, Tyra, from the little bit we got, it felt like you rehearsed this and you did not want to come off of your talking points. I don't know who prepped her, but they were wrong. So really, I think this just comes down to Tyra understanding that sometimes you're not going to be able to control everything that is said about you. And if you're not willing to give us rawness and realness about what actually happened with you in this show, then we don't need to hear it. We really don't. I'm not sure if she's going to win. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this lawsuit. What do you guys think? And I will catch you on my next one.